Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport. And Formula E came to us for the first ever time from India. And we had a very exciting race. I should have probably done this video yesterday, but I'm doing it today because I was busy and today was a better day to do it. Anyway, Formula E has started off pretty well. The races have been good. But Pascal Wehrlein and Jake Dennis have definitely looked like title contenders already. It was going to be interesting to see if that continued in India. And for the most part, it did. But this race was insane and a lot happened. Maybe not initially. Mitch Evans started on pole. And I was very happy for that because I picked him as my predicted champion. And I thought this was the start of him kicking off his championship challenge. And this was going to be an easy race win for the Jaguar driver. It did not turn out like that. It was unfortunate, but Sam Bird did crash into his teammate, which is a big no-no, as we know. It was just unfortunate. I think he was sort of half looking at a move, and then outbraked himself, and it just happened that the car he spun round was Mitch Evans. You could hear that Sam Bird knew immediately that he fucked up, because on the radio he was like, "I'm so sorry, I don't know what happened." Feel sorry for him. This was a very bad race for Jaguar. Both cars were tired. This was after a strategy cock-up as well, because Mitch Evans was leading with Jean-Eric Vergne and Sébastien Buemi behind him. He then took attack mode fairly early on in the race, but it dropped him behind both Buemi and Vergne. And really, that's what put him in position to get hit by Sam Bird. So, Jaguar all-round red-faced and a terrible weekend for them. So after that, Sébastien Buemi was leading. And I don't know if he thought there was going to be a safety car or he just got offline or something. But he looked to be going kind of slow. And Jean-Eric Vergne very easily got past him, as did teammate Nick Cassidy. And this was a fantastic drive from Nick Cassidy. But Jake Dennis also got past eventually, and that was even more incredible because he started 12th, and by the halfway point of this race, he was 3rd. A very, very fantastic drive from Jake Dennis once again. And the race continued like that. Cassidy had more energy. He looked like he was in a really good position. But both Envision cars were running well. Also caught up in that crash with the Jaguars was Fenestraz and Maximilian Günther, both of which were having a really good weekend. They were up in the top 5. They really were badly affected by that crash as well. They dropped down to the back of the grid. Very misfortunate for them. I think Maserati especially, actually Nissan as well, both needed a really good result, and this could have been it, but it did not work out for them. But we had a safety car because someone broke down. No, it wasn't. It was Jake Hughes. Jake Hughes crashed on his own, and there was a safety car. Right after that safety car, the other McLaren of René Rast goes straight into the back of Jake Dennis. Two very good drivers. It's not a mistake you expect René Rast to make, but they were both out as well. Although René Rast retired, Jake Dennis dropped down. I think he had a puncture or something, but he may have pitted and got a new tyre. He did continue, but he was out of the points. That also puts up the field for Porsches of Da Costa and Wehrlein. So Jean-Eric Vergne won the race from Nick Cassidy. Vergne did a fantastic job holding him off. He literally had 0% energy by the end. We had Buemi in 3rd, but he got dropped down the field for, I think, an overpower infraction or something. But he finished outside the points, which was very unfortunate for him. But he does seem to be back in top form, like for Buemi we used to know. So hopefully we'll get to see him fighting at the top once again very soon. But that did mean for Porsches of Antonio Felix da Costa and Pascal Wehrlein finished 3rd and 4th. A fantastic result for them. In the first half of the race, they were nowhere in the field. They were just hanging out there. And they've got good points out of this weekend now. And Sergio Sette Camara did an amazing job for Neo to come home in 5th. I think mostly just by keeping his nose clean. So that was the race. It was pretty entertaining affair. I think definitely the best race this year so far. It was the general craziness you get from Formula E, and it was very, very exciting. I think Mitch Evans getting affected by attack mode when he took it too early. I know someone commented on one of the last videos that I think they were complaining that I called attack mode a gimmick. It is 100% a gimmick, and one that 100% removes from Formula E. It's unnecessary. Imagine if he didn't have attack mode. Mitch Evans would have been first, and Verne and Buemi would have had to overtake him. And they definitely had the pace to do so, and we could have had quite a nice battle at the front. Instead, Evans takes attack mode, drops down the third, gets hit by Bird. There you go. Attack mode has sort of ruined this race. As entertaining as it was, it would have probably been more entertaining to actually have a really good fight between three cars at the front. I think the energy, maintaining the energy levels they need, that's all Formula E needs. It does not need attack mode. It does not need fan boost. It doesn't need drivers swapping cars halfway through the race. Formula E as a concept works perfectly well. It's fine. Stop fiddling with it. Get rid of these stupid gimmicks. Trust me, get rid of attack mode, the racing will be better. There's not really anything else to say about that. Just trust me on it. It would be. I think we actually lose quite a lot because of things like attack mode. As for this race was pretty incredible, as I said. Wehrlein, he's got a decent lead in the championship now because of Jake Dennis's issues. Porsche have had a great year so far. I'm not entirely surprised because I think this is where Porsche should always have been. But it's taken longer than I thought. But they do look like the top outfit this year. And it's nice seeing people like Buemi and Verne back up the top as well. Mixing it with drivers like Dennis, who is very, very good, and Nick Cassidy as well. I think Formula E is stacked with talent. And it makes for great racing. So again, in 2 weeks' time, we're going to Cape Town, South Africa. And it'll be the first time Formula E's been there as well. Hopefully it'll be just as entertaining as this Indian ePrix. So with that, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and thank you to everyone who has recently. We've had a very decent run for the last really couple of months. Honestly, I'm shocked every time I check the subscriber numbers and it's gone up. So thank you everyone. Make sure you leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of this race and what you think of the Formula E Championship as well. I'll be back with more very, very soon. So, thank you for watching, and have a good one.